West Coast Comics.
Hey guys, how you doing? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy whatever the fuck you celebrate, I don't care. Happy holidays to all of it all. There's too many of them now to list it all off, so. So we're gonna do another Q&A, and yes, I do have something to show you at the end of this. I'm only gonna show you one thing though, but it's very cool. So we're gonna dive right in, let's do this. Picking up from where we were, okay, I might pronounce this wrong. I'm sorry if I do. It's either Thurain Y or Turain Y, but they say, "Hey Chris, I have two questions. One, how is it like filming in the desert? And two, have you ever considered going into voice acting? Thanks, you rock, bro." Okay, first off, how was it filming in the desert? I didn't have a problem with it. I was totally fine. We did film in Death Valley. Nice and warm. I think it was 135 while we were there. It was a little warm, but I didn't have a problem with it. I was good. Have I ever considered going into voice acting? I have, yes. In fact, I talked to some of you may know him, Delphin, Daryl, to see what we could do about maybe getting some work out there and all that shit happening. So you know what? He's a good guy. He's getting a lot of work in voice acting, and also, of course, I have taken classes with the phenomenally talented Dino Andrade. So he's done voices in like everything. You know, he's done so many voices. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and he said that he really liked the stuff that I did with him. So yeah, you know, we're gonna try to get something like that happening. So good questions, Thurain or Turain. Again, I don't know which one it is, but there we go. Moving on, Honeybee Missy. She's the sexiest honeybee there is. I love her. Hey, handsome. Oh, look at you. You know just the buttons to push. Great video. You're so hilarious. I literally smiled the entire time. What? Oh, now you want to meow? Meow. I literally smiled the entire time while watching this video. Are you planning to watch Rogue One, a Star Wars story? I am. And meow. I am planning on watching it, yes, and hopefully you and I will go see it sometime. So there's that. Yami Wolf, Anime Rules. Our good friend Yami Wolf says, "Hey mate, hope you're well. What happened to the streams? And you're awesome." Yeah, the streams have slowed down a little bit, but you know what? I'm gonna try to pick them back up. So hopefully you guys will be enjoying all of Mortal Wombat's doing really stupid shit. So there we go. From David again. Not saying you shouldn't read my comments though, LOL. Couple of questions for your next Q&A. Hey Chris, would you consider coming to Wizard World Columbus in Ohio next year? Have you had any fan come up to you while on the show or after In Space ended that made you feel like, wow, I had an impact on their life? Okay, so first one, would I consider going to Wizard World Columbus in Ohio next year? Absolutely. I'm totally down with that. Get in touch with Chrissy, and we'll see if we can make that happen. That'd be fantastic. I'm totally good with that. Have I ever had a fan come up to me while I was on the show or after In Space ended that made me feel like, wow, I had an impact on their life? I've had a lot of people make messages on my YouTube page, you know, telling me that, oh man, your show was really great. I mean, I really liked it, and you know, I really appreciated, you know, the camaraderie, I guess, that you guys had and all that. So I suppose I have had a number of people tell me that, yeah, and that's a very surreal feeling. It really is. Thank you, David. From Orochi Geese 7, I remember you. What's up, Chris? I hope everything is going well for you these days. I was curious as to your opinion on Marvel's new X-Men Resurrection line of comics, if you've heard about it. Thanks for answering my questions. Take care, man. I don't know. I haven't read anything about the new Marvel X-Men stuff. I don't like the way that they went with things. I don't like it when there's too much change, and I really don't like it when, you know, basically all of the characters that I grew up with, they kind of decide to step to the side, so we'll let the new kids in. Fuck these new kids. I don't care about them. Why the hell would I care about the new kids? So I don't even know who's in Resurrection. I mean, maybe it's all the old guys. I don't know. But I noticed that that's what they were doing with a lot of Marvel stuff. It was basically, let's not revamp the old guys. Let's just have them sit on the bench and we'll bring in the new kids. And it's like, no, don't do that. There's so much history with all these characters, you know? You don't want to just bench them. No, don't do that. So, I don't know, man. I'll see what it's like, and then I can give you a more informed opinion. From Hacky Zach. We all remember Hacky Zach. Hey, Chris. I hope you're doing well. I got a couple of things, some comments, and some questions. So the questions are, with The Force Awakens out and having seen it, do you feel there are 3 Star Wars movies or now 4? Good question. Yeah, you know what? I feel that The Force Awakens is a very welcome addition to the Star Wars trilogy, because there's not 6, there's 3, but now there's 4. And depending on how good Rogue One is, I've heard pretty good things so far. So maybe now there's 5. Shit, I don't know. And the second question was, sorry, I try not to ask Power Ranger questions since you get bombarded with them, but I am curious. Were you invited back for the 20th anniversary special? I heard they gave people next to no time, like legit less than a month, to agree and to fly to New Zealand. Either way, you didn't miss anything. Being nostalgic, I watched it. I felt like washing my car in the rain would have been more useful. LOL, Forever Red was far better. Yes, I was approached. And yes, you're right again. They didn't give us a whole lot of time. So, you know, it was kind of like, you know, hey, we got a thing happening next week. Want to fly to New Zealand? No, it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't like next week. But it was a very short amount of time. So, yeah. I saw part of it. I saw where everybody jumped in and all that shit. And yeah, I mean, everybody that was on there was like there for, what, 4.5 seconds? Because there's like 50 of them. Okay, so the comments that Hacky Zach has is, I saw you mentioned that Saloon Planet reminded you of the Cantina. Being a film buff and recently getting good with Adobe Premiere, I want to try and sync the Cantina band theme to that scene if I can find the footage. If so, I'll definitely shoot you a link. Do that. I want to see that. And Chris Man, still Hacky Zach, I was 5 when Power Rangers in Space was on. Thank you. Now I feel exceptionally old. I was 5 when Power Rangers in Space was on, and that blew my mind as a young kid. Loved the character Andros and how you portrayed him. Ever since that, I had always been in love with movies and storytelling. Jump to now, I'm a college student majoring in film production, and with my recent short, I have been accepted to film festivals in New York City, California, and Mexico. I just wanted to say thanks for sparking my interest from day one. Chris, you're the best! So thank you, Hacky Zach. Can we get a let's rock it? Let's rock it! Is that good? And anyway, hope you have an awesome Christmas if you celebrate it, and a great New Year. Zach, P.S. Fuck Jar Jar. Also good. That's actually what he wrote. He said that. Fuck Jar Jar. So there we go. All right. Good stuff, Hacky Zach. Coming up next from Die Trin again. All right, what do you got this time for me, Die? Is it weird talking to an inanimate object, the camera, when you do Q&As? It is essentially talking to yourself. Hee-haw, LOL. I guess. I guess it is. Yeah, it's kind of like talking to myself. It's kind of like talking to a mirror, you know? So, is it weird? No. Probably not weird, no. If you ever want to do voice acting, if you ever want to do any acting, you are going to be talking to yourself quite a bit in order to learn your lines and stuff like that. Number 2 was, how was it reuniting with Juliet Nowlin, who played Sylvie? Were you surprised to see her? Yes, and I had no idea it was her when she came up to me and was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. And I'm like, no, I don't know who you are. And she's like, well, I was on the show. And I'm like, really? Yeah. She's like, yeah, I was Sylvie. And I was just like, no. She just smiled, and I was like, oh my God, yes. So it was fucking blew my mind. Number 3, if you could write an episode of Power Rangers in space, instead of the Ninja Turtles, you guys team up with the Beast, what would be the plot? I have no idea. I got nothing on that one, man. Because it would have to not just be one X-Man, it would have to be all the X-Men. And the hell do they need us for then? Shit, they're the X-Men. Christ, they could do it. They can handle it. Rita's fucking dead. There you go. And number 4, this is the last question from Dytrin. Which is better, the Spiral Saber or a drill from Home Depot? Really? Well, the drill from Home Depot is real, but it's either going to require batteries or an extension cord, whereas the Spiral Saber doesn't. Weigh the options, brother. Weigh them. One's real, but it requires a lot of shit for it to work properly. So, I don't know. Interesting question. You know, Dytrin, you do come up with some very interesting shit. Next up, from Thomas Tran. Hey man, big fan. Q&A. My friends, who are also huge fans of yours, of your season of the Power Rangers, say that you guys have quite a close resemblance to the Village People. Okay. I personally do not agree, but my question is, being that you were on set with the co-stars while rehearsing cheesy lines for a kids show, do you agree with this assessment? What? Do I think that we were like the Village People? Not really. That's an interesting point of view. I'll give you that, Thomas Tran. Whoever your friends are that came up with that very imaginative way of looking at shit, good on them. Tell them they should get into writing because they've got ideas. Okay, moving on. From Scarlet Mage. Okay, hi Chris. I really love Power Rangers in Space. I was 5 when the season was... Jesus Christ. Were you all 5 when this show was on? Every fucking one of you? Were you 5? God. That's okay. I'm not angry. I'm not. You can see it. I'm laughing. I'm smiling. God, I'm fucking old. Okay, I was 5 when the season was aired, but when I saw the episodes this year, I was like, wow. And it got me hooked to watch the other Power Rangers episodes, but though I have watched all of the series, your season is so far the best! It's in capital. I was really hoping that there would be a season 2 for Power Rangers in Space. Can I ask you some questions? Number 1. How does the relation between Andros and Ashley when the season ended? Were they married? Hee hee hee. I really loved the chemistry between you and Tracy after watching Power Rangers in Space. I've been a huge fan of the both of you. So what happened after the show? What happened between Andros and Ashley? I leave that up to your imagination. So whatever you think it was, that's what it was. Number 2, what was your reaction meeting the other 5 cast from Power Rangers in Space during the Ranger Stop event? Oh, so during Ranger Stop, well, I mean, that was the first time that I'd seen Tracy in a long time. And I hadn't seen Roger in quite a while. But, I mean, I talk to Justin every friggin' day almost. And Selwyn, I had seen him, where did I see him? I guess I saw him at Morphicon. I thought I saw him at the previous Ranger Stop, but I guess that wasn't right. But I've seen Selwyn in other cons too. So, you know, seeing Tracy, that just blew my mind because I was like, holy shit, there you are. And yeah, and Raj too. And the thing that's always killed me about Raj was that he's like 12.5 feet tall now. And that was not the way that shit was on the show. So, Good on you, Raj. You fucking beanstalk. Jesus. You really grew tall. Number 3. Have you heard of the game Final Fantasy? If so, what was your fave? So do I know the Final Fantasy? Wait, Final Fantasy? Yeah, like the series? Sure. The best one is 7. It's always 7. There you go. Everything else is crap. That's just my humble opinion, but there you go. I just want you to know that as one of your 1,000 big fans, I really, really appreciate how you communicate with us. You are such a generous person, and for that I love you, and all the best. May you have a happy and prosperous holiday. Mwah. Mwah. Right back at you, babe. Moving on from Why Reptiles Are Cool. Good name. I remember having the Power Rangers in Space episodes with the Psycho Rangers on VHS as a kid. The original 93 Power Rangers and Power Rangers in Space is my favorite seasons of Power Rangers. Christopher, your character Andros is my favorite from the show. He's just badass. You're absolutely right. And he's the best. Thank you, Why Reptiles Are Cool. From Marvin Desroker. I might have gotten that one wrong. I apologize if I did. Hey Chris, I have 2 questions for you. By the way, you are awesome. Number 1, have you seen Star Wars The Force Awakens? And number 2, what's your favorite Star Wars character? Yes, I have seen Star Wars The Force Awakens, and obviously my favorite Star Wars character has always been Darth Vader. You can see him over my shoulder, right there. That's a big Darth Vader standing up right over there. And trust me, I have lots more Darth Vader stuff. Yes. He's my favorite because he is the classic tragic hero. And you sit there and you watch the movies and you're like, he's not the hero. Yes, he is. In his mind, he is. That's how you write a bad guy well, guys. Is that they are their own hero. So there you go. The more you know. From Pablo Martinez. Just finished watching a marathon of Power Rangers in Space. I feel so sorry for you. As a longtime fan since Mighty Morphin, In Space was my personal favorite. If you have the desire to return to acting, which Marvel, DC, or any superhero film would you like to star in? Oh, God. Jesus, man. I don't know. Definitely nothing DC. That's not going to happen. Not for me. I haven't finished the series yet, but I'm very close, and Luke Cage is it's really turning out to be good. Lord Tristan was telling me that, yeah, he can't wait to see Iron Fist. I don't know. And the Defenders, that might be interesting, but I don't know which series they're going to go with and, which group of guys. So, because that could be really good for me because the Beast was one of the original Defenders. So, I don't know. Moving on, the Retro 18. Hey Chris, love your Q&A videos. I have 2 questions for you. Number 1, have you seen the new Last of Us Part 2? And what are your thoughts on it? Thanks, you rock, #1 Red Ranger. Let's rock it! So have I seen the new Last of Us Part 2? I have not, no. But the first one was good. It was a good story, good storytelling. Well, very well done. So there you go. I'm sure as long as they stick to what they did the first time, they can't go wrong. From the Fumbo Muffin again. All right. Keep them coming, Fumbo. Or do you prefer Muffin? Probably Fumbo. It's probably better. Well, Chris, thank you so much again for the response. I do have a question this time. As a man with really long hair, I have to ask, when and why did you cut your hair? Did you just get tired of it? Washing and managing a mop on your head can get annoying after a while. LOL. Yes. And I live in LA, and during the summer, it's about 185 degrees no matter where you are, even in the shade. So, long hair sucks. Doesn't help. So, yeah. Plus, I have to cut my hair now. I mean, it's getting way too long. But I've always appreciated mohawks. So, there we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we got 2 more from Why Reptiles Are Cool. First, I hope you go to a Comic-Con in North Carolina sometime. I'd love to get to see you. It's cool you have a cat. You don't really look like a cat kind of guy. It's cool that you are, though, LOL. I'd like to hear you talk more about West Coast comics. Oh, I can do that. I'm really into comic stuff. I have a wide variety of favorite comics, superheroes. I love the X-Men, Spider-Man, the Avengers, etc., etc. I remember you saying you liked Beast from the X-Men. He is an awesome character, both as Hank McCoy and as the Beast. Keep rocking it, man. And then after that, RoboCop is one of my favorite movies. It's a very good movie. And yes, everything else you said is yes. There we go. So, those are all the questions that we have. Now, I'm going to show you the one thing that I'm going to show you this week. It is a DVD. You're going to say, you're just going to show us a DVD? Okay, all right, whatever. But this is a DVD that was given to me as a gift from Chrissy. She went out and got this because I had told her, well, she said that she was going out to she was going to work at a con, and one of the guests there was Jason Priestley. I told her, you know what, there's a movie that he was in way long time ago it's my favorite movie that he ever did. And it's called Cold Blooded. And it's such a quirky, strange film. You really got to watch it, and there you go. Well, what she did was she went out and found a copy of the movie, which I didn't even know that existed, but it does. And she got Jason Priestley to sign it for me. Now, that is a line that he said in the movie. Well, he didn't say to Chris, but he says, I don't want to kill people. And he says it just like that. I don't want to kill people. Because that's what he does in the movie. He kills people. But he's a very lovable, very fucking strange character in the movie. For those of you who have never seen it, I highly recommend seeing Cold Blooded. It's really strange. You'll like it if you like strange. And thank you to Chrissy for doing this for me. She said that Jason Priestley himself was like, when she handed him the DVD, he was like, oh my God, I didn't even know they made those. Like, well, yeah, I just said that. And she said that he also, like, once she got the thing signed, that she went to leave, and then he was like, wait a minute, no, you just brought this to me. We're going to take a picture together. Everything that she said points to the fact that Jason Priestley is 100% a class act. I love the guy even more now. So, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. He's awesome. And Chrissy is, of course, awesome. She's probably the most awesome out of all three. But only slightly more than him, because he's really awesome. Okay, so there we go. Watch Cold Blooded if you've never seen it. Try to find it, but it's going to be hard. I still have no idea how the fuck she found this. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. I really love this. And, oh, while she was out here the last time, we watched it, and she was like, that movie is awesome, but what the fuck did we just watch? And I was like, I know, right? It's crazy. Okay, so that's it for this time. Next time I will have something else to show you. One of my other cool things that I have all around the place and all that shit. So, are we good? Are you happy? Good, because I'm happy. All right. I love you guys. Mwah. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.